We've got a fresh set for you now. Nameless versus Kalamari Damacy. Yeah, so Ryan, how about you talk us through this a bit?
Well, I can't say much for Kalamari Damacy, but I have seen Nameless play quite a bit. Considering they're from Singapore, I do have a chance to really see how their teams were and their lineup. Today we have Charmy, Sotong, Evaltron, and JJ. Give me a moment.
Of course.
The team has climbed all the way up from Season 1. They have seen a huge change in their roster, starting from only 4 players all the way up to right now. I think they have 9 players, right?
Yeah, 9 players. That's a lot.
There are a lot of attack-oriented players, but eventually they came down to deciding how they wanted to push an attack effectively, even as a backliner, aggressive backliners and whatnot. There is a whole bunch of aggressive players that I can say for certain. But with Season 2, I do not know too much about them, but I can expect to see them being a bit more in their game now, you know? They have something planned out for Season 2. And that's going to be something exciting to see.
Oh, that'll be very cool to see in action. Kalamari Damacy, of course, are newcomers to the series. They did not play in Season 1 and turned up for Season 2. I believe they played in the... just one second. In the seeding tournament, however. I'm getting lost here trying to search for the results.
No, it's okay.
Dear me. Yeah, they did. Had a few interesting matchups. They got defeated by Lime Soda. Managed to defeat Money Squad, and then went down against Krillbill 2-1, and the same margin 2-1 against Jim's All-Purpose Turfing and Egg Collecting. I believe they've also... I think they've given us a pretty excellent looking bio, but I don't think we've actually shared it with you yet, so should definitely look forward to that when the time comes. They've made it themselves, but well, here we are. It's game time, so let's just get on that.
Well, I can say for certain some players, for Charmy running the Blob Blobber, to me it's not too much of a surprise. She runs a lot of close-range weapons, especially the bucket list.
Well, I mean, seeing the Blob Blobber, and I love that Thermal Ink on it coming out. We've got Pee-wee on Kalamari Damacy running the same thing.
Yeah, and as well as Sotong, he has always been running, Neo Sotong himself has been running a lot of the Rapid Blaster pros as of late. He has always been running Rapid Blaster, actually, now I think about it. Specifically the original version, the one that runs the Ink Storm.
Oh yes, of the Rapid Pro. That's a fun weapon. It's one that I've always neglected a bit.
Skilled mastery of the weapon, I must say so. Nope.
And we've seen so many players go down without the Rainmaker moving an inch.
So Kalamari's Peps here, just going to the side, hoping to flank off Sotong right here. Sotong goes down to it. Doesn't look too well for Nameless here. They're getting picked off one at a time.
But so are Kalamari Damacy. It's all trades. I don't think either team's really very happy about this, honestly.
But looking at the turf control here, we can see that Nameless is the one in control here for today. But with that 5-point push, it just means that Nameless just needs to grab it, otherwise, you know.
Yes, so I think Kalamari have their chance here. It looks like Pee-wee's taking it, going along the high route. And just, get stuck charging that Rainmaker.
Unfortunately, just waiting down there, hoping to get a kill there.
And we see once again, we see a trade. So Sotong left trying to push against the Rainmaker and will probably lose out to Kalamari Damacy there. And in fact,
gets killed by the barrier though.
Yeah, wow. So this is looking great. Oh wow, but once again stalled and stopped. It's really interesting seeing how good these teams are at just, cutting the other team off, preventing them from doing anything.
It's almost like this mirror matchup, like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, but I'm just gonna kill myself. It's just like a suicide run at this point.
Yeah,
the one who can get
no one's getting things splats, it's all trades.
Yeah, Daryl is there once again, trying to go in for it, but gets taken out by Sotong. JJ barely escaping it, holding down the top there.
And then,
I think the biggest problem is Peps with that heavy spatling, because as long as he's there, he has longer range than Sotong here, which is their longest range player. This could be a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to take advantage of the fact that the blaster can get things with indirect shots, or like we've seen there, the ambush potential of the carbon roller.
Yeah, if Archer with the carbon roller gets taken down right there.
So Sotong there picks up the Rainmaker carrier, but everyone else on Kalamari Damacy is still up, and everyone else on Nameless is back. Is down, so they needed to retreat a bit.
But I guess their one saving grace right now is that their point isn't pushed too far ahead, so they still have a good chance of holding it back. If they get like a team wipe or a triple, this could be something good for them to push it. JJ just going in there, but doesn't manage to get the kill right there.
And then, like, once again, Kalamari Damacy are able to move, but they've got someone in their way, and this might be their chance. No, it's not! Ivel there absolutely saving it for Nameless.
Now they just gotta go in. Evacho's gonna lead the charge here, I suppose. Go in for quick kills with that carbon roller.
And then, of course, you got the carbon roller deco, not the standard one. So we've got auto bomb rush
so we can see a burst bomb combination or you know, a bit of an auto bomb on here.
And then we do have the Rainmaker running forward there and gets the lead.
Oh, that's an amazing one by Charmy right there.
And almost entirely a solo effort there. You know, the rest of the team was stuck dealing with Kalamari Damacy, and yeah, the purple team just couldn't get on the objective fast enough.
Yeah, I think Kalamari is just too focused on getting a trade and slowly pushing it. But then I think Nameless saw the bigger picture and realized that, we just leave them down there, they'll probably forget about it.
I think perhaps they were also willing to, you know, be a little bit complacent because they had the lead, but of course they don't have it anymore now. They're going to have to work hard.
Yeah.
Oh no! Peps goes for an unfortunate swim. Not that they were planning, I'm sure. And so it looks like Kalamari Damacy has got to wait. They can't make a push yet because they don't have the numbers.
1 minute remaining and they have to do something in the... They have about 2 pushes left at this point. They have to make something work here.
Yeah, you know,
we
really...
See on the left,
I agree, 2 pushes is all they've got. And Kiwi, unfortunately, has just been back.
There are the Tenta missiles. Trying to cut off Sotong right there, and GG.
And Charmy is absolutely making life miserable for the Rainmaker. Manages to pick up Daryl, but Pee-wee's on the move now. This could be the overtake.
And there it is. We do see that overtake, and now we're gonna see.
Oh wow, it's still going! With the Stingray backing up. Are we gonna look at a KO?
Oh, that was so close. 1 point. This just means that Nameless might have a chance to push it back. While slim, it's still a chance. So
well, it's knockout or die, and they've only got 13 seconds, so it's almost definitely going to have to be in overtime. We'll see what they can do.
Well, they are technically, they're doing very well to clear back the zone, but they have a long way to go, so let's just see if Charmy can hold on all the way.
Step 1, of course, is to get it out of their court, which they're looking like they're going to manage okay. Kalamari Damacy knows that they can play the long game here. They don't have to rush in and get it done all at once.
Just a good team like effort right here, throwing a few specials. That could just be it for Charmy because she will have nowhere to move.
Yes, unfortunately, Charmy left almost alone. Only Ivel's still up on the front lines, and Charmy's got to run back.
He's holding down the fort there.
And now the Stingray's up, and I think that might be the end. Charmy dodges, but Nerd turns up, and that's the end of it. Yeah,
I've got to say,
well played by Kalamari Damacy. You know, I think what we see here is 2 very evenly matched teams, and then one team just saw their moment and took it.
Yeah, right here we had good push from both teams, just that, well, one team maximized that push a bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, like, you know, we saw a similar situation, I think, in the recorded match between Anemones Anonymous and Hailbot Comets earlier tonight, where, you know, the main game was, like, most of the time it was pretty indecisive. The Rainmaker wasn't going back and forth constantly, it was just sitting in the middle mostly, and the teams just trying to get to grips with each other, and we had only the one really, really effective attack.
Once again, we're back to Splat Zone's Black Belly Skate Park here.
And of course, because we're now here on Black Belly Splat Zones, it's just going to be a very different game. Even if the players all work out similarly in the way they interact with each other, the nature of the map means that, you know, you can get serious points on a map like this without really pushing forward.
So I'm not sure what they'll be playing this time. I've only seen them what they usually play, and I don't think those weapon choices might be great. So I definitely hope to see Nameless try a different composition here. Say for Kalamari Damacy, I don't think their weapon choices before might be the best choices for now.
Well, I will see what they take, I suppose. I am quite fond of the Rapid Blaster on Black Belly Skate Park, although the regular one, not the Rapid Blaster Pro. We'll be interested to see, yeah, like, you know, whether or not people decide to bring, say, maybe a Slosher, Tri-Slosher, or a Slosher Deco. Yeah, you know, will be interesting. And of course, Kalamari Damacy's side, given how strong that performance we saw was from Peps with that heavy splat lane, I think we're probably going to see something similar come out here for splat zones.
The only thing I could say for certain might be that Daryl might just run a brush. See how you was playing just now. That could be the only thing I can confirm. But apart from that, I think the rest of it is more or less a wild card here. I'm drawing blanks right now.
Yeah, of course. It's always tricky getting to grips when we're first in there. Alright.
But yeah, Splat Zones, Black Belly Skip Park. Charmy with the Tri-Social to Vu. That's an interesting choice. With the raid is gonna definitely help him.
Yeah, this is interesting. Running, in fact, the X-Splotter there on Peps and the Bucket on Pee-wee still. This would be very interesting.
Yeah, and looking at the team competition, for Nameless at least, it's gonna be really aggressive. So the X-Splotter might not have room to move as long as they go in.
And of course, they've got to make sure they do go in and take advantage of that close quarters ability, because if they don't,
yeah,
the
it's not looking
just going to make their life miserable.
Yeah, Soto over there really trying to outrun it, and it looks like Charmy helps him take it out.
For now, Kalamari Damacy very happy, ticking down, not really contested, but Yvel's behind them, and it looks like going for the auto bomb rush, throwing them out on both sides, picking up Peps, that's huge. Being able to knock out the X-Splotter is really, really handy.
Charmy goes down, however. Now it's a 2-on-2, and Yvel might have to just go in for the kills right here and hope to secure a good chance for Nameless to go in.
And does pick up the Blob Lobber, but the zones aren't under control. Unfortunately, it looks like for Sotong, yeah, never mind. This is actually getting quite hard to track.
Well, at least from my point of view, I think Charmy's choice with the Novu is actually a pretty good choice. Seeing how a raid has a decently big radius and how Black Belly's splat zones are very small, if she angles it nicely, it could potentially take both zones just down like that. And that's gonna be something that you have to watch out for. But with Soto with the raid as well, it's gonna be another thing. Kiwi's going in there in the corner there. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's going for a flank here.
Pep's getting a bit overconfident here with the X-Splotter and indeed getting taken out very nicely by JJ, and that's the first cap there for Nameless.
JJ goes into the splashdown, takes out their entries right there.
And yeah, stops that inkjet cold. Very well done. Charmy avoids the last few bubbles from the Blob Lobber, and things are looking pretty good for Nameless. They're getting some points on the board now.
Yeah, Nameless is now trying to go back for the great push right there, but gets stopped by that point taken.
Kalamari Damacy and Nameless both pretty even on the splats, but the points are still ticking down, so really I feel at the moment the neutral game is playing in Nameless' favour.
Yeah, Nameless is definitely doing pretty well now that they've gotten like 1 point in. As long as they hold their 1 point and push it back and don't get a penalty here, they might have something to work with.
But of course, Kalamari Damacy, I think they realise that too, and they're working very, very hard to try and get in on Nameless' point.
Yeah, we can see that Soto is like constantly getting flanked right here by Daryl. It's just a very good choice by Daryl actually. As long as Soto is not there to deny the point from Pee-wee and the Explosion itself, it's gonna be pretty hard for the rest of the team to win.
And indeed, those bubbles there from Peps mean that Pee-wee's free to cap the defending zone on Kalamari Damacy's side, and that's a penalty applied to Nameless.
Yeah, but however, they do go down too, so now it's gonna be in Nameless' favor, pushing it.
Yeah, it's a big, big question of like who's able to take advantage. We get that remote splat bomb kill, I think. Burst bomb kill, rather. Yvel gets 2 in a row, in fact, from burst bombs. And it's only 1 player up on Kalamari Damacy's side. We're looking at 20 ticks or so for the overtake. We really don't want to have to face that down. KD want to get in, and they want to be able to get the cap before Nameless overtake.
Yeah, JJ and Nameless just, JJ and Yvel just waiting their time to get some easy kills right there. But Daryl goes in and like spots them off.
And it looks like we've got the overtake there, and in fact that ambush from Merge doesn't pay off.
Now all Nameless has to do is to hold on 1 point. Charmy is just gonna go in and try and defend it off. Pee-wee is holding it down though.
It's a very thin margin though. It's not going to be a comfortable amount to defend. I suspect Nameless are going to want to get back on the offensive. With 90 seconds left, there's no way they're going to win unless they take decisive control of the points.
All they need is just to defend 1 point away from them, not allowing them to continue capping, and that is their game. However, 1 minute on the clock, this could be a bit hard.
Nerd's inkjet gets shut down effectively there by Yvel. However, yeah, the lead is exchanged.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do a bit more work here. With 32 penalty on their side here, they just gotta go in. They're going for that really risky jump down there, but manages to go away with it. Okay, but,
and then Peps disrespects that rapid throw from Sotong and pays the price, getting splattered while on the column. But the frontliners are picking up where Peps left off, and it's looking very strong for KD at the moment.
Yeah, but that team wipe is gonna cost them, so... Whew.
Yeah, Nerd absolutely saving what could have been a chance for Nameless to push back in there. At this point, the objective pressure is probably going to result in a knockout. But no, Yvel turns up, gets the near zone cap. But Peps is just able to pour so much ink out with that Explosher. Kalamari Damacy did a very good job there of realizing that they had a positional advantage and just ruthlessly exploiting it.
Throughout the entire game, though, it is very apparent that Sotong is at a disadvantage, being that he's the only long range. So when he goes down, his whole team is basically forced to face against all the other long range weapons, which is a bit of a shame.
It's a tricky situation as well when you've got a map like Blackbelly where there's so much focus, so much emphasis on that control of the central pillar as well, because you could see how much damage got done by the Bloblobber when it was able to sit there safely.
Yeah, the good thing about both teams is that they're both playing really well. It's just a matter of who can exploit each other's weaknesses more. And I'm sad to say, Kalamari Damacy is really just pushing it down there.
Snapper Canal Clan Blitz, of course, that's going to be a different question. It's not small enough. It doesn't have any of those areas that are so confined, like on Arrow Mall in the mid, or like Blackbelly Skate Park and the entire map, where a single long-range weapon can just be so thoroughly dominant. There's just too much room. So if Nameless are clever, they'll recognize that fact and they'll probably do their best to just stay away from Peps and just
but
when they don't reckon they can get the win.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see a brush, but they didn't switch out too much. They were really quick to go in. So let's just see if you're going to stick with the same composition here.
Alright, well, 2 games in, we've got Clan Blitz. Let's see what we have. Alright.
Well, not too much to switch here. But for the other team, there's a Deco this time. Heavy Splatling Deco. That bubble is going to do really well in giving them a shield to move in as well as turf control.
And that Slosher Deco as well, an excellent pick for Clan Blitz. Very good at sort of making that first initial push to the basket.
Yeah, that baller is definitely going to come in handy as well. Nerd takes out JJ right there with his victories.
And then the rush from Daryl picks up the Bloblobber on Nameless's side as well.
Yeah, Nathan's getting pushed back quite a bit.
But it looks... Oh no, never mind. Pep's getting very aggressive with that splat lane. At the
Yeah,
moment,
it looks like Pee-wee is going for the corner right there.
Yeah, neither team's got a power clan yet, so even though Kalamari Damacy have been getting the best of the early splats, they haven't gained anything out of it. And they're now down to only one player, just Pee-wee left in the middle. Do you reckon...
Yeah, Chubby...
We have a power clan. Do you reckon Pee-wee's going to go for it? Oh no, they're playing it safe.
He doesn't want to go in for it, just all alone, especially with 4 players.
And
fact, see how they got 2 down with Charlie just not taking both of them out from the flank. It is not a good choice there. But Yvel's not going in for it as well.
I do like seeing that exchange of the power clan. You notice that Kalamari Damacy are holding it on their backliner, and they're jumping in now. They're going to try and get a quick break, but I don't think it's going to pay off. Oh, they did get the throw.
Just there.
But they missed. So it looks like Yvel rushing forward to get the break of Nameless's and succeeds.
Nerd is trying to go in for it.
Yeah, so Tom providing rain and burst, and in fact we've got that inkjet going forward. This is where we really need players from Nameless to get some extra clams in, but it looks like unfortunately the mid has all gone Kalamari Damacy's way, and that Octobrush is able to get a counter break, but they don't throw that extra clam in, so it's not an overtake yet. The inkjet goes up, Daryl does get the splat, and we get the super jump from Nerd.
Daryl's trying to defend his point here.
Yeah, so we do have that. Oh wow, wow.
Oh, Daryl might save this.
Kalamari Damacy looking very happy now. They've got their respawn wave coming in, they've got bubbles, and they've got the power clam. They do get it in. It's the overtake.
Yeah, they're having a lot of turf control here, not giving Nameless a chance to move around. So that might be something that Nameless needs to work on right away. But with that triple down, looks like Nameless might be able to come back here.
Full credit to Nameless for managing to cut that, nip that push in the bud. It obviously was not ideal for it to happen, but there was so much concentrated force there, it was always unlikely that they were going to be able to stop it before it happened. And they did manage to mitigate the damage a lot. Oh boy though, that rear push there from Nerd, just being able to completely shut down Nameless.
And
then got a fresh break.
There to defend it.
It doesn't look like Kalamari Damacy have too much in the way of clams available, but they're still just increasing their score a little bit and keeping pressure so that Nameless aren't able to start an attack of their own. That's very good flank there.
Yeah, slow and steady push, just slowly inching their way down.
Still, Splat seem to have gone a bit more in Nameless's way, and it looks like they're sticking together, moving towards mid. We've got Satong there. Oh no, unfortunately just gets ambushed. But Yvel does manage to escape. Meanwhile, Charmy's taking the left flank, probably hoping to just create some openings.
Yeah, Yvel goes down now with the clam ball, but that super clam down there is just gonna disappear. JJ gets that in.
Yes, but unfortunately for Nameless, there's just too much concentrated firepower for him to get anything apart from the initial break. But that's still an excellent change of momentum. You know, they've been on the back foot for a good 2 minutes. It's very, very, big that they're able to just get on the attack again. JJ just picking up 2 in a row. And we're left with only 2 up on Kalamari Damacy's side. But Nameless, I think, want a few more clams before they make a push. They've still got a lot of work to do if they want to overtake.
Yeah, they're gonna get a 30-point push down here, but it's still gonna at least need 3 more extra clams are gonna push in. But yeah, super clam just goes away, goes into their base, and I don't think they can save it, so they're gonna need a bit more right here.
Kalamari Damacy very, very astutely realized that they had to stop that push completely cold. They needed to regain the initiative. Heps is now moving forward. Got bubbles, got a power clam. With 40 seconds left on the clock, I reckon they're going to try for one more push if they see an opening.
It goes for a double kill there, dropping their Nameless super clam, so that's gonna be a pain.
And yeah, we got bubbles coming out in mid. Pee-wee goes down to a bomb or an ink jet or something nasty, but Heps has a path to the basket if they want to take it. They pick up 2 from their bubbles, but they're still not going for the attack. It looks like they're just, oh, there we go, we go for the super jump.
That's E-White right there.
Yeah, and we've got the barrier open. It's going to be very unlikely now for Nameless to get awarded overtime because they're not going to be able to get the basket closed. Oh, never mind. Pee-wee turns up to just seal the deal. So that's good play there. It was very close to being an automatic overtime. If Pee-wee hadn't turned up with those extra clams, that would have, closed the basket before the time ran out.
It was gonna be a really hard push regardless. They have a good about 80 points to clear out.
Yeah, once that final push opened up, it was looking very, very demanding.
Nerd on that Empress was just going crazy with kills right there, getting multiple kills each time he went in. That was another factor that they had to consider. None of their weapons had pure direct hits except for Evil, but he had to really go in and get the kill, so it was a bit hard for him.
Well, I suppose it's another opportunity for a change of pace. The advantage of a turf war match, of course, is that it's 3 minutes no matter how well or how badly you're doing. So, Nameless, I feel, they might choose to use this as an opportunity to maybe try something a bit different out with their weapon loadout, or at the very least, see if they can treat with the other, deal with the other weapons a bit better. Obviously it's demanding going into a map like this up against a heavy splatling and not having a direct answer to it, but they've at least got the advantage that in turf, it's the mode where you can most afford to just retreat and give ground temporarily without having to fight.
Yeah, but talking about turf war, New Albacore Hotel, we were talking about it just now. We're saying how there might be a bit of rain here, and seeing how Charmy has used the Tri-Slosher Novu and the Blob Lobber. Which one do you think she'll go for this time?
Honestly, I would probably favour the Tri-Slosher over the Blob Lobber. I don't think that the grates are very kind to the bouncing bubbles from the bathtub. I think you're better off better off going for a weapon that's got a bit more short-range punch-in-your-face options, and then just use the splat bombs for ranged control. But it's hard to say, obviously it's all a matter of how it fits in with the rest of the team. I feel the Tri-Slosher and Novo would also be a good pair for the Rapid Blaster Pro in this situation, because they can both just deny it long range, and then, when stuff gets up close, the bucket can just clean things up.
Definitely.
On the other hand, we're in a situation from Kalamari Damacy's point of view where pretty much all their weapon choices have worked out for them quite nicely. I don't think we're going to see too much variety compared to the previous games.
Yeah, maybe you see another heavy splatling back once again.
Or perhaps the ballpoint. I suppose we'll see. Let's go.
It didn't take as short of a time as before to select their weapon, so we'll see a change at least. And there we go, Charmy with that Junior right there.
And that, never mind. We got the explosion coming out again. We got Nerd repeating the end parries.
And Snowdog not going with his usual Rapid Blaster Pro this time, but Jet Scorcher.
I think the Jet Scorcher is a very good choice here. You've got that, ability to deny areas both with your sub and your special. Meanwhile, Bell already has a Suction Rush charm charged up and is just going ham with the bombs.
Soto goes in like a missile right there. Must be running a bit of a special charge up right there. Going really good for it.
Well, it's a very good option for the Jet Squelch, because since you've got so much range, it's nice to just be able to sit back and go ham with missiles. But the combat all goes Kalamari Damacy's way this time. Charmy ducks around and manages to outsmart Pee-wee. Very well played there.
A lot of sweet speed up, I feel. Like, going really fast.
That's a spectacular play from that Custom Junior. Being able to get a splat and a trade in a 3v1 effectively, that's brilliant.
Superior play by Charmy right there.
Otherwise, though, it looks like the early incursions into Nameless base have mostly just sort of petered out. And we've got a weird situation where Nameless control the mid, but don't necessarily control their own side of the map.
Well, you know, maybe they're just trying to save some turf so they can save up, charge up their specials as they're coming back. That could be something that they're working with. Especially when you see Sotong right here, probably running a good amount of special charge up. He doesn't really hate it, he gives it to his team to do it instead. Yeah, we see Evo right there turfing it back up, so yep.
Yeah, now seeing a lot of diligent turfing there. You know, players are not willing to just leave these spaces and move on to fights. They're actually quite content once they've won their fight in a place to stay there for a little bit and make sure it's painted.
Yeah, looks like Evo is going for Peps here, gets the kill down. Nice
Nerd going for the super jump with drop roller on the dualies and getting it to pay off for the moment. And now we're left with Sotong as the sole player up on Nameless's side. But
yeah, but I don't think I love that.
Yeah, they're not really in a position to pressure it, so it hasn't really hurt Nameless that much at all.
And looking at the map here, it looks more like it's going to be in favor of Nameless if this hits up. But you know, Kalamari is just slowly pushing in.
I feel perhaps they've been a bit overconfident in this set. I've seen this a few times where they've managed to move their players forward and just find themselves trapped in amongst a bunch of Nameless players, and it's not worked out for them. That said, they are getting a bit more paint on the board now. Let's check the map. Oh, that's still looking pretty pink.
Yeah, it looks like Soto has run down another set of Pentas here, hoping to block off their base with Darrow painting it all the way down.
Yes, so we've got a solid invasion going on in Nameless's territory. They've still got
gets
the mid,
a double split,
but they're getting squeezed. This is all going to come down to the 1v1s. We see Sotong there beating Nerd, and that's huge. If your Jet Squelcher can take out the Emperries, then that's just a bunch of painting denied to the other team. But now I think... Oh yeah, Charmy and JJ staying on the offensive, but unfortunately that's just given up all of mid. I can't call this. I've got no idea.
Yeah, with the mid all taken out by Kalamari Damacy, I really couldn't tell this one. But
there
we have to consider how a lot of the factors.
Well, you know, that's a very interesting match. I felt it sort of seesawed constantly. In the end, though, Kalamari Damacy are able to take the win. Alright, well, now it's tower control time. We haven't had it yet, but we've got it coming up.
It is a match point at the moment.
It is indeed, you know. So obviously Kalamari Damacy feeling very happy here. They've managed 4 wins in a row. And not always from, you know, from the strongest positions. You know, you look at the Black Belly skate park situation, they had to essentially, you know, push back from a pretty significant lead. You know, the turf war match, obviously in the middle, they were just, you know, getting wiped, getting shoved out. But yeah, obviously now they are sitting on 4 wins. Doesn't matter how easy or how hard the wins were, they were wins. And they've got the situation. Yeah, where tower control on Marco is all they need to win.
Yeah. But that being said, Kalamari and Damacy here has to make sure they don't get a fool of themselves and just like go all ham on it. Especially seeing how as they were really close to losing actually, they really have to like pace themselves a bit more before they really just say, well, that's our win. So let's see if Nameless can do a full-on pushback here.
Yeah, and that's the really interesting thing where you can often tell, you know, how much tournament experience the team has. Because sometimes you might get nerves. You might go, okay, we only need this and we win. And, you know, it can make you choke.
Yeah, but let's not forget, remember, this is the best out of best 5 out of 9, so we may just see the reverse push right here, reverse all in.
Well, we've already got people asking for it in the chat, so let's see whether the team's obliged.
We got a longer match here, we want to enjoy it. Alright, tower control on Marco Mark. So let's see the lineup here.
Oh, never mind. Yep.
Well, we do see back that heavy splat ring once again, and 2 blob blobbers.
And meanwhile, we've got a custom blaster and a splat roller coming up on Nameless' side, so they've decided to change their weapons up a little bit. I think that might be what they need.
This might be just really what they need.
And indeed, they're already getting dividends from that custom blaster. JJ just going forward and completely shutting out Kalamari Damacy from the mid.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a lot to move around here. That raid is definitely going to give them like a bit of a tough time to move around here. PV and Peps are trying to move in slowly.
Oh yeah,
but
JJ
just going it.
Great shot with the blaster, and staying out of the rain, going for the inkjet. Meanwhile, Charming and Satong there able to push the tower. Daryl plays excellent defense though, gets 2 players clean, and is still able to clean up the tower, and that's a small
And there's the third one.
Still, that's 1 checkpoint broken, and it's a very, very strong start for Nameless. It's exactly the kind of play that they need if they want to stay in this set.
A 42-point lead. Can Nameless hold this off though?
Well, we'll have to see. The custom blaster does sterling work, teams up with the blob blobber there, and just removes the ink brush, the octo brush that had been giving them so much difficulty earlier. And indeed, we are seeing a lot of Kalamari Damacy players, once again, like in the mid stages of that turf match, getting caught by themselves, having to deal with 2 Nameless players at once, and that's not a situation we want to be in.
Yeah, we see the blob blobbers and blob blobbers situation here. The one with high ground, it's not something you like to see, is it?
No. We very briefly had the mid completely empty as the last 2 players traded with
looking at the map right here, we can see that Nameless really has a lot of the turf on their side here. It's not too well on Kalamari's side though. So we're hoping to see a good push here. Doesn't look like anyone's going on the tower, even though that they have 2 down. They can take this advantage here, and PB realizes this and goes in for it.
Well, of course, the other 2 frontliners were down, and Peps was stuck on the rear lines with Stingray at that time. So yeah, what was very, very good performance from Kalamari Damacy in terms of getting the splats, just they weren't able to convert that into points because they didn't have people in the right place.
Yeah, if they realized it a bit sooner, maybe they would have just saved the Stingray for later on. But seeing as to how they threw the Stingray out already, it was too late at that point. And we see another Stingray, once again by Peps.
Yes, Peps, however, not really in the right place to make it work, and the tower now just gets, chased off by that Rapid Blaster Pro.
AJ with a trait right there, but gets punished by Daryl.
Daryl and sort of staring at each other and neither one willing to commit to a fight. 2 close quarters weapons, both quite uncomfortable about advancing outside of their own end.
We see a small push by Kalamari here with the 73 point to 54 now, so yeah, I think they're slowly inching their way. Nameless just needs to hold on to their ground and remember, it's still in the bag, we got this. It's only 4 on their side, not 5 yet, so let's just push it slowly. Yeah,
Nameless, what they really want is to be able to take control of the momentum in the match and get on the attack.
And it looks like
they've already got the checkpoint as an advantage, but they, so anytime they're able to get the tower forward, it's just going to be instant points.
So it looks like they have a full team in the mid here. Charmy going down and the rest are just staggering behind. They might want to regroup and slowly push in. Just get a few pot shots down there at the tower so that they will try and back off.
Yes, and this could be dangerous. Nerd is now coming in and going for a flank onto Nameless' gallery. But in the meantime, the front lines have gone all Nameless' way and Nerd's essentially stuck with their inkjet. They do get some excellent picks, but the tower's reset all the way back to mid.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Nerd being all the way there. It's just a waste of time there, just trying to defend the point when everyone is just coming off of the right perch side.
So now we've got a situation, this is happily set up on the tower. No, elects to run back, possibly to get a Stingray in play. I feel that was perhaps an error, but the tower's moving forward. They've got a chance to overtake now.
Oh, this could be bad for Nameless, especially if that lead. Oh, they're gonna hold it down, and that's the lead for them.
That was very close. That volley from Nameless's Blob Blobber did manage to clear the tower out briefly, but now Kalamari Damacy getting a significant lead.
Yeah, there's gonna be another heck of a push here, especially now we're near the checkpoint.
Yes,
gonna
push up. Inkjet, I feel was a mistake or at least a mistake by their teammates perhaps, because none of them went on to push the tower. Kalamari Damacy were just ignoring it when they had a chance to get through that second checkpoint.
PB being caught off guard here by Charmy being in the base of spawn. Let's see how this will go as well.
Yeah, so obviously in this situation, Kalamari Damacy really don't want to choke. They've got 4 games won. They've got a lead, but it's not a very strong lead. Not going to take too much for Nameless rather to push into a lead. However, it looks like Nerd's in a position to hop on the tower with that Stingray covering them.
And it's overtime, Ed.
Yeah, there we go. That's the end of it.
Both teams did pretty well though, both trading to each other. It was a really tough match for both teams.
You could see just, how... I'm sure we're going to see it in the splat count. And there we go. Yeah, we've got 19, we've got a 20. Players just going down constantly, just doing everything they could to take control of the tower and to deny the other team. So yes, congratulations to Kalamari Damacy on a win, and also to Nameless for, giving us probably one of the closest 0-5s I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
The scoreline isn't everything, and I'm sure anyone who's watched this will agree that there were many games within this set that could have gone the other way.
But fear not, it is only week 2, so we do have a few more matches that Nameless can take it back all the way.
Absolutely. Both teams have, obviously have some pretty potentially tough fights ahead of them. Kalamari Damacy are coming off the back of a win against Jim's All-Purpose Turfing and Egg Collecting, so they're now at 2-0. Nameless, meanwhile, defeated Blooper Reel 5-0 in their first week match. So they're, still looking pretty happy. We don't believe we've got results from any of the other week 2 matches in this division, so we'll see where the table's sitting after that.
Yeah.
All right, well, in a way, not that I would have been at all unhappy to see it go longer, but my voice is at least as glad that it was a short set compared to the ones before.
It's been 3 games. Most of our voices are. Ugh.
Well, I suppose that's it for the evening. Thank you very much, Ryan, for being with me throughout this journey. It's been wonderful, just seeing teams from, so many different, so many different places too.
Divisions.
Yeah, we've had, we've had Australian teams. We've had, I think, a Singapore team, a team from the Philippines.
Malaysian team as well.
Oh, yes. Going at it, it's, really, really wonderful just to have so many people involved in the league.
Yeah, that's just the joys of Oceanink as well. Having a community to go to and play games with. That's just the core of it,
Yeah, so we're hoping to have some more streamed tomorrow night as well. Please watch this space in terms of exactly who is getting streamed. I'm pretty sure there are 2 matches going on at the exact same time. So we'll see what we can sort as far as that goes. In the meantime, thank you everyone for watching. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, been a blast.